Hello, this is Melissa Casablanca, the Director of Special Education for the Coweta County School System. I hope today finds you healthy and safe and that your family is doing the best to adjust to the new circumstances that we're under. I wanted to give you an update on where we are in regard to our Empower online program for students and what that means for students with disabilities and how those services will be delivered for the upcoming school year. But before I do that, I want to take just a moment to say that I empathize with you and what you're going through. I myself have a middle school student, and this has been a very trying time trying to make decisions in regard to how he is going to receive his education. And I know there's a lot of anxiety that is accompanying not knowing. And I want you to know that we're here to partner with you. We want to have the opportunity to have dialogue with you and help you in that decision-making process. Of course, we can't make the decision for you, but we can give you as much information as possible so that you can make a good decision for you and your family and how that affects you. So I'm going to start off by giving you my phone number, and it should appear underneath me, and it is 770-254-2800, and that is the WERS Central Office. And you can call that number and ask to speak to someone in special ed. Someone will take a message with your information, and you will receive a call back so that we can kind of walk through that process with you. I wanted to start off by saying that all students are eligible to participate in the Empower online format. So whether your student has very significant disabilities or mild disabilities, all students with disabilities are eligible to participate. It will just look different for each person depending on what their needs are. As far as what those services and supports will look like, the IEP team will determine that. I can tell you in general that students will continue to receive, if they have speech, they'll continue to receive speech, OT, PT, those kind of things, even if they're enrolled in the online program. However, it will look different. It most likely, for speech specifically, it will not be a face-to-face format. It will be through a digital platform. We have partnered with Presence Learning, and they have a digital platform that has a lot of manipulatives and different things that our speech therapists can use as they are interacting with the students to make it engaging and for them to be able to make progress in the area of speech. OT and PT will be determined on a student-by-student basis as far as what that will look like. It could mean, depending on what your child receives in the area of OT or PT, it could mean an online format. However, for those students that may need the face-to-face interaction, we will come up with a plan to make sure those services are delivered as well. I know that it is very frustrating not to have all the answers and to know exactly what it will look like. But I can tell you we are looking at the input that you've been giving us in the online survey that Mr. Horton, the superintendent, just put out. And those comments that you're making are being used to come up with the final recommendations for the opening of school. The ones that were previously put out, please know, are draft recommendations. So we're waiting to hear your input and any questions or concerns you might have to finalize that. And then from there we will move forward and let you know what the final determinations were. And then, like I said, we will meet individually with each parent that has a student with a disability that is signing up for the online program in order to be able to have an IEP meeting and determine what those services are going to look like. However, I know that you have questions and that you might need some things answered prior to making that decision, and that's why it's important to reach out to us. Let us know what those questions are and let us walk you through the process. I can give you a general idea. If your student is typically served in a collaborative setting, meaning they're out in the general ed, that they're working towards a regular diploma or that they're on the general curriculum, there will be, of course, a regular ed teacher assigned. It may not be the teacher that they would have seen if they were at the current school setting. So as an example, Arbor Springs Elementary or Willis Road Elementary or East Coweta Middle or Noonan High School. It may not be the same teachers that they would have interacted with, but they will have a general ed teacher. In addition to that, there will be a special ed teacher assigned to make sure that the appropriate accommodations and services are in place for your child, as well as to make sure that they're making progress on their IEP goals and objectives. So that person will be working hand in hand with the regular ed teacher to be sure that those things are happening and that they're in communication with you in regard to your child's IEP. If you have a child that is on an adapted curriculum, meaning they're more in a small group setting because they have more significant needs, they too will be working on curricular items with a special education teacher that is certified in adapted curriculum. Same thing will happen. We'll meet as an IEP team and we'll determine what that looks like. I do want to be very transparent though and let you know that in either of those two settings, whether they're in the general curriculum or they're on the adapted curriculum, that it will not be that they receive face-to-face instruction from 8:30 to 3:30 every day. The schedule will be set up by the supervising teacher, whoever's assigned to your student, and most likely for students that are in general curriculum, it could be something like they have an hour-long block for ELA, and then there's a break and the teacher is not online with the students and the students are doing independent work for 30 to 45 minutes. And then later on in the day, there's another hour-long block of instruction for, say, math. And that will be true for all subject areas, so English language arts, math, science, and social studies. For adapted curriculum, it will run similarly, but we know that many of our students that have more significant both health concerns as well as cognitive delays, that they can only work for a shorter span of time. So the teacher will take that into consideration, and there will be a need for support at home in that setting. The teacher will, like I said, be one-on-one or one in a group with the students. However, for many of those students that require hand over hand, the parent will need to be there to be able to help facilitate the instruction. So that's kind of just a brief description of what you can expect. And as I've said previously, we want to have that dialogue with you. We want to answer your questions. So please reach out to us. No question is too small. We'd rather know what you're concerned about and be able to answer those in a timely manner up front so that you can make the best possible decision for your child and your family. We know each family is coming with different situations in regard to work, as well as physical and medical needs at home in regard to not only the student that you might be discussing with us, but other members of your family. So we want to answer those questions. We want to help lead and guide you in a direction that will work for you and your family. So please do not hesitate to reach out. Once again, the number here is 770-254-2800. Ask to speak to special education, and we will return your phone call as soon as possible, hopefully within 24 hours. That's our goal, is to return parent phone calls within 24 hours. So make sure you give us a number that's going to be easily accessible so that we can reach out to you and get your questions answered so that we can ease some of that anxiety, hopefully. Once again, I hope that your family is safe and making the best of a very difficult situation. Let us know how we can help, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Thank you.